So welcome once again to our participants for our lead training program. So right now we are at the chapter 2 of our lead training program, which will focuses more on your technical skills. So yung chapter 1 kasi natin focuses on your soft skills. This time, this will focus more on the technical aspect naman. Once again, I'm your skills enablement trainer. I'm Jesse Garpao, your training officer from HR department. Just a quick review of what we have discussed now or what we have learned now from our chapter 1 of lead training, which focuses on our soft skills. So we have discussed number 1, introduction to retail team leadership. So our topics are how does retail sales work, what is retail sales team leader, ano yung mga key roles and responsibilities of a sales team leader, and what are the ideal Candy Corner team leader. Yan yung module 1 of our chapter 1. And then the module 2 is about developing leadership skills. So it involves effective communication, active listening and comprehension, building rapport and effectively motivates team members, managing conflicts, and last but not the least, it's about delegating tasks and time management. Ayan, ito yung topics or chapter or module na medyo mahaba. Hinati-hati natin. And then last module for chapter 1 or soft skills is about customer success, in which we were able to discuss about the evolution of customer service, from customer service, customer engagement, customer success, yun. So doon yan papasok. And then guaranteeing the essentials of retail. So that's our soft skills discussion. So for chapter 2 of our lead training program, we will be discussing or focusing more naman on your technical skills as mentioned earlier. So our topic discussions for this chapter or we will cut this into 3 modules. Ayan, module number 1 is all about loss prevention. Ayan. Module number 2 naman is inventory management refresher. So hindi tayo magdidwell so much on this because we had a training na about inventory management before. So this is refresher course na lang. And ORW encoding. Siguro dito tayo medyo magtatagal. So ORW encoding. And last module for this chapter is about proper sales monitoring and reporting. So ito na yung about sa reports na ginagawa ng ating mga sales team leaders and our acting team leaders or our aspiring team leaders. So proceeding now to our first module for chapter number 2, we will be discussing about loss prevention. So as we all know, there are a lot of scam, merong mga forfeited money that are revolving right now. Recently, meron tayong incident sa SM Baguio, meron din tayong incident sa SM Fairview at saka sa SM North. So napaka-importante na dapat pag-usapan natin ang loss prevention because it will help us, hopefully it will lessen yung mga ganong incidents na we have encountered. So our objectives for this module are the following. Number 1 is to increase our awareness about the various types of losses that can occur within the retail store. It's not about scam, yan, or budol. Possible din kasi na it's administrative. Possible din it's about theft, di ba? Or pagnanakaw, pwedeng outside or pwedeng inside. So kailangan aware tayo of that various types. Number 2 is to recognize the key risk factors that contribute to losses. So ano ba yung mga factors na maaaring mag-contribute sa mga losses na we have encountered in the past. And number 3 is to reduce losses, improve profitability, that's our objective, and enhance the overall security and resilience of our operations. Diba? Okay. So for our loss prevention, these are our topics or our table of contents. So number 1, we will be discussing about importance of loss prevention in retail, specifically in retail. Kasi mostly sa losses talaga, madalas mas malaki yung factors or chances pagdating sa retail. Okay. Next is what are the common types of losses in retail? We will tackle about that as well. And number 3, ways to prevent losses in retail. Okay. So before we proceed sa ating topic discussion, the question here is, what are the importance of loss prevention in retail? Gaano ba siya ka-importante pagdating sa retail, yung tinatawag natin na loss prevention? Okay, number one, importance of loss prevention in terms of retail is financial impact and profitability. Why? Because kapag we are engaged or we implement loss prevention, or we are seriously implementing this loss prevention tips or strategies, it helps us to minimize financial losses caused by inventory shrinkage. Yan. We can protect our profit margins, mas mapapataas natin yung ating income. It reduce costs kasi mababawasan yung time and effort para i-audit, para mag-reconciliation, di ba? And it improve overall sales performance. Dahil mataas ngayon yung profit margin natin. At the same time, maayos yung ating inventory. So mapapataas nito yung ating overall sales performance, which is our target every month. Next is customer experience. As we all know, kapag secure and safe yung isang store, it feels also secure and safe. It also introduce, or it also feel like a safe shopping environment. It instill a safe shopping environment to our customers, di ba? Or it instill a sense of security among customers, making them more likely to trust the retailer and return for future purchases. Dahil safe and secure yung ating store, paulit-ulit at pabalik-balik yung ating customers sa atin. Next is reputation and brand protection. A positive brand image includes a reputation for being secure and trustworthy retailer. It enhances customer loyalty and attracts a new customer. Same also with number 2, customer experience. A positive reputation and brand protection, kapag maayos or alam ng mga customers na walang mga shoplifting, walang mga scamming, or walang mga any aspect of losses pagdating sa store na to. So, mas nagtatrust ngayon yung mga customer natin sa brands natin. Okay? Number 4, it improves employee morale. So, dahil nga wala tayong masyadong losses, maayos yung inventory, wala tayong shortages, wala tayong mga penalties, so our employees feel safer and more valued in an environment that actively addresses security concerns. This boosts employee morale, productivity, and loyalty. Ayan. So may iwasan din natin yung mga biglang nag-aawol, biglang nagre-resign, kasi nga maayos yung ating inventory. Okay. Number 5 is compliance with legal requirements. By implementing loss prevention strategies, retailers ensure compliance, avoiding potential legal issues, fines, or penalties. And number 6, last but not the least, it improves data and analytics. So loss prevention efforts often involve analyzing data and patterns to identify vulnerabilities, kung saan ba tayo parang kulang, or ano ba yung mga risk factors natin, or areas of improvement. It can provide insights into operational inefficiencies, employee behaviors, or systematic issues, leading to better decision making and process optimization. Okay. So now that we already know the importance of implementing loss prevention, especially to our retail stores, let us go back naman to identify ano yung mga common types of losses in retail, particularly in retail. Okay. Based on the current study or survey by the US National Retail Federation, ito yung mga primary causes of retail inventory shrinkage. Number 1, or yung pinakamataas, which is 36.5%, is shoplifting. Ayan, or yung tinatawag natin na external theft. Ito yung pagnanakaw ng mga customers or yung mga passerby natin sa stores natin. Okay, that's 36.5%. Ayan. Pangalawa is employee. Yan, employee theft, or yung tinatawag natin na internal theft. Ayan. Madaming ways para mangyari ito. It's either mismong product natin ang ninanakaw ng ating empleyado, pwedeng yung benta natin, yung ninanakaw, yung mismong cash, Pwede din yung mga online payments like Shopee, GCash. Yeah, may mga ganung incidents na tayo. Instead of GCash natin yung binibigay, GCash number nila yung binibigay nila para doon pumasok yung kanilang benta. So that's internal theft or yung employee theft na tinatawag. That's 30% sa overall na rating. So as you can see, halos hahabol siya doon sa shoplifting. Okay. Next is administrative. So administrative is 21.3% doon sa primary causes of retail inventory shrinkage. Pag sinabi nating administrative, it means control failure. So hindi pagsunod sa proper inventory management, hindi pagsunod sa proper CSI fulfillment, hindi pagsunod sa proper POS process, cash in, cash out, hindi pagsunod sa proper cash control, 'di ba? Yung deposit, everyday deposit. Ayan, ano pa ba? Hindi pagsunod sa proper cash count summary fulfillment. Yan, and madaming factors yan. That's control failures. Pero nagbo-boil down yan doon sa hindi pagsunod sa SOP or Standard Operating Procedure ng retail. But as you can see, malaking factor yan. That's 21.3%. Number 4 is fraud. So fraud is 5.4%. 5.4%. So fraud, dito papasok yung mga counterfeit money, fake money na binabayad. That's a small chunk lang doon sa overall na rating. Pero nangyayari yan. Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi yan nangyayari. Siguro lang, we are well adept na pagdating sa pag-check ng mga fake money. Number 1, meron tayong mga money detectors, and we've discussed several times na about the FLT methods or other methods na pwede natin gawin. But yan, kasama din dyan yung scam. Diba? Recently, we had this incident sa SM Baguio, in which nawalan tayo ng around 13,000. So we have the same incident na nangyari sa SM Fairview at SM North. Thankfully, alam na natin yung mga ganung modus, kaya naiiwasan natin siya. And last is that 6.8%, it's unknown. So possibly, itong unknown na to, possibly it's either of the first 4 reasons or common types of losses. Hindi lang siya totally na found out. Kaya andito siya sa unknown. Okay, so isa-isahin natin yan. So when we say shoplifting, it occurs when customers steal merchandise from a retail store. So that's very understandable. It can range from small items, pwedeng maliliit na items, concealed in pockets or bags, to large-scale thefts by organized retail crime groups, di ba? Yung talagang malakihan na, yung buong benta mo na ang ninakaw. So possible yan. Pag sinabi naman natin employee theft refers to dishonest acts committed by employees. Ayan. Kaya dapat matyagan din nating mabuti, especially yung ating mga team members. Though we are friends naman, magkakakilala tayo lahat, pero wag pa rin tayong magpakampante. So this means stealing cash from the register, misusing discounts or coupons, possible yan, di ba? Or taking merchandise for personal use or resale. Diba? Yung dinadala yung mga items natin sa kanila para sila naman magbenta. So that's employee theft. Next is administrative. So as we reviewed, this is 21-point-something% doon sa overall reasons for losses in retail. So administrative losses can also occur due to administrative errors such as pricing mistakes. So mali yung price tagging natin, yan, possible yan. Inaccurate inventory management, hindi maayos yung daily and monthly inventory natin. Or mishandling of cash transactions. Ayan, so yan talaga ang pinaka-reasons. Mali yung sukli, hindi nagde-deposit, mali yung bilang. Ayan, so these errors can lead to financial discrepancies and losses for the retailer. Okay. And including also for the administrative, hindi lang po ito about cash control and reporting, it also includes yung damage and waste. So losses can also occur due to damage or spoiled merchandise. Ayan, hindi agad-agad na report na meron ka na palang expired items. So inabutan na ng expiration date, hindi mo na maibibenta. So that's other factors, or that's additional factor for administrative which resulted to company losses. Inventory shrinkage from mishandling or improper storage. So mali yung pagkakastore, kaya nasira yung mga items. Ayan, defective items, problematic items. Or waste from expired or unsold perishable items. Ayan. Next is fraud. So pag sinabi nating fraud, it involves customer returning stolen or counterfeit merchandise, using fake receipts or exploiting return policies to obtain for items they did not purchase. So possible yan, may mga ganyan na for example, bumili sila sa inyo tapos sira daw, papapalitan nila. So that's fraud that can be considered as fraud. It can also means using counterfeit or fake money to purchase. Yon. Fake money yung ginagamit nilang pambili. Price switching, yung price tag natin. Kaya dapat alam natin, familiar tayo, well-versed tayo dun sa mga price tagging, PLU and SKUs ng mga products natin and prices ng mga products natin. Kasi nangyayari po ito, yung price switching na tinatawag. Placing a lower price tag on a more expensive item. And next is credit card fraud. So ano ba ito? So when a customer uses a stolen or counterfeit credit card, which can result in chargebacks for the retailer. So ano bang pwede natin gawin? So as much as possible, check the ID kung talagang sa kanila yung nakapangalan yung credit card or debit card, especially pag mga malalaking amount na. Okay. Next is gift card fraud. So ano ba yung mga gift card fraud? Yung unauthorized use or duplication or sale of gift card. So may mga gift certificate po na binibigay sa Candy Corner as well as mga online gift services like e-gift, meron pag isa. Ang dapat lang nating tandaan ay alam natin yung procedure on how to check or to validate the gift cards, diba? Ayan, yan yung pinaka-importante. And last is yung tinatawag natin na online fraud and e-commerce scam. So madami yan. Pwedeng i-hack yung ating mga cellphone, i-hack yung ating POS, i-hack yung ating system. So that's online fraud or e-commerce scams. Okay, so now that we already know ano yung mga common reasons for losses in retail at what are the common reasons for losses, ano yung mga common types of losses in retail. So now, let us proceed with ways naman. So ito na yung actual way to prevent losses in retail store. Okay, isa-isahin natin yun. Number 1 is yung shoplifting prevention. So, paano ba natin mapiprevent yung shoplifting sa store? Number 1 is to understand the psychology of shoplifters. As much as possible, kailangan mapagmatsyag tayo. Okay? Alam natin kung ano bang reason ng mga shoplifters, bakit sila nagnanakaw. So, some common reasons for shoplifting include thrill seeking. So, parang excitement lang or excited lang silang magnakaw. So, that's another reason. Next is financial need. So, kailangan talaga ng pera kaya sila nagnanakaw. Peer pressure. Pinipressure lang ng mga friends, ng mga kasama kaya sila nakakapagnakaw. Or a sense of entitlement. So, parang yung same also with the thrill seeking. Yung parang feeling entitled sila or happy sila kapag nakakapagnakaw sila. So, that's kleptomaniac na. Diba? So, number 2 is recognizing. So, number 1 is if we recognize the psychology, mas mabilis na sa atin ma-prevent kung ano man yung mga possible na mangyayari for shoplifting. Next is recognizing common shoplifting techniques and behaviors. So now that we know and understand the psychology behind shoplifting, we should also know how to recognize yung mga common techniques and behaviors na ginagawa nila. So it includes concealing items in bags, di ba? Yung tinatago sa bag. Ayan. Clothing, minsan kahit na sobrang init naman, naka-jacket ng mga malalaki dahil doon nila tinatago yung mga produkto natin. Or personal belongings, yung iba merong mga daladalang mga laptop bags, ayan, tapos kunwari, pumipili-pili, tapos doon pala nilalagay. Manipulating price tags, yun nga yung sinasabi ko, dapat aware tayo, well-versed in terms of product SKU at the same time yung prices ng products natin. Using distraction techniques, especially kapag ikaw lang mag-isa sa store. So, kumpulan silang pupunta doon. Yung isa, kunwari, bibili. Yung iba naman pala, nagnanakaw na. So, yun yung mga ways of distraction nila. Or working in a group to create confusion. So, the same with yung distraction techniques na sinasabi. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga key indications of a shoplifter? So, it includes, number 1, looking around constantly. Yung patingin-tingin kahit saan. Diba? Parang may hinihintay na parang ang tagal niya na nakatingin na parang hindi siya mapakali. That's number 1 and pinaka-common indications na talagang magsha-shoplift na yan. Pangalawa is wearing overly heavy clothes or unneeded jackets. So katulad yan, yung nasa example. Kahit na hindi naman malamig, mainit naman, nagsusuot ng mga malalaking jackets, diba? Overly large jackets or heavy jackets. Bakit? Kasi doon nila ini-insert. Yan. Carrying a large bag or backpack, yan, possible din yan dahil malaki yung bag nila or backpack nila, mas mabilis, hindi maagad-agad na mapapansin natin na ando na pala sa loob yung mga items natin. Or possible din yung iba, kahit nasa loob ng store, may dala-dalang umbrella tapos naka-open pa. Wala namang uulan sa labas. Kasi meron na pala yung mga hocus-pocus na ginagawa. Paunti-unti na pala sila nagnanakaw. Number 3 is short or strangely spaced steps. So when walking, might be a sign that someone is hiding stolen property on their body. Yung hirap sila maglakad kasi pala andito sa gitna yung nilalagay yung mga items para hindi mahulog. Kaya padahan-dahan silang maglakad or hirap na hirap silang maglakad. Scanning the area for employees, nag-check lagi kung saan yung mga empleyado natin. Kaya as much as possible, dapat merong maiiwan kung may magsi-CR man sa atin para hindi natin or maiwasan natin tong shoplifting. Next is showing nervousness in picking up random objects without any thought. So, makikita mo naman kapag kinakabahan yung tao kung ano na nilang pinagagawa. So, wala siyang proper agenda sa store, pero kung ano-ano na lang chine-check niya. So, kinakabahan na siya noon. So, ibig sabihin, possible na shoplifter na yun. So, many shop visits without ever coming into purchase. So, ibig sabihin, ang dami niya na pinupuntahang tindahan, paikot-ikot na lang siya, ni isa wala pa siyang nabibili. Okay. Then, last is coming into the store in pairs or groups. Yung iba, chatting up the store, and yung iba, nagbabrowses. Yung madami sila masyado para ma-distract po tayo. So, yun yung isa sa mga shoplifting key indications. Okay. So, number 3 is yung tinatawag natin na customer service techniques for deterring theft. Ayan. May mga customer service techniques para tayo para maiwasan or in a way para matakot yung mga magnanakaw. Number 1 is to greet customer upon entry. So, pagpasok pa lang, i-greet na agad, sundan na agad, offer assistance, and maintaining a visible and attentive staff presence can create an environment where shoplifters feel more vulnerable and less likely to commit theft. Dahil nga, nakafocus ka sa kanya, nag-greet ka sa kanya, nakikita mo na siya agad, napansin mo na agad yung itsura niya, matatakot na ngayon yung shoplifter natin. So, madalas talaga nananakawan yung walang pakialam sa customer na pumapasok. Kaya, madalas ka nananakawan kasi wala kang pakialam, alam nila na in a way, pwede ka nilang maisahan. So, yan yung isa sa magandang example. Pagpasok pa ng customer, i-greet na natin, mag-offer na tayo ng assistance, kailangan yung mata natin nakafocus sa kanila or nakasunod pa rin sa kanila kahit paano. Number 4 is store layout optimization and merchandising strategy. So, ito na yung sa merchandise display standard natin. Yung mga high value items natin, kailangan malapit sa cash register or nasa ibabaw ng shelves para nakikita natin pag nabawasan. Kapag may mga glass showcase tayo, doon natin ilagay especially yung mga mamahaling items natin. Additionally, organizing displays to provide clear visibility and maintaining an organized store environment can enhance surveillance and reduce opportunities of shoplifting. So, kung maayos yung iyong organization dun sa store or layout or merchandise display mo, may iwasan natin yung shoplifting. Employee theft prevention. So, paano nga ba natin maiiwasan yung employee theft or yung tinatawag natin na internal theft? So, number 1 suggestion or number 1 technique is to be vigilant in identifying early signs and indicators. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? So, let us identify yung mga common signs. It may include discrepancy in inventory records. So, kung paulit-ulit na lang na may discrepancy sa inventory, may shortage sa inventory, possible may mga nangyayari na yan na internal or employee theft. Unexplained inventory shrinkage, biglang pagbaba ng inventory, pero walang benta, di ba? So, that explains employee theft. Possible yan. Excessive voids or refunds. Kaya, nililimit talaga natin yung voiding or yung refund. As much as possible, wala tayong refund. Yung void, nililimit natin kasi hindi po pwedeng basta-basta tayo or lagi na lang tayo nag-void. Kasi, it's possible na may nagaganap na hocus-pocus na. Diba? Consistent cash register shortages. So, short lagi yung cash natin, short lagi yung dinideposit, short lagi yung benta natin. So, sana napunta. So, yun yung possible reasons. And other suspicious behavior. And then number 2 is yung compliance with inventory control measures and procedures. So, kailangan to be able to prevent the employee theft, kailangan compliant tayo with our inventory control measures. It includes yung ating daily inventory monitoring and reports. Pangalawa is our month-end inventory reporting, and yung ating daily sales monitoring and reporting, di ba? Yung ating sales monitoring book at saka yung ating BIR book. Dapat updated yan daily. Okay? Okay. Pangatlo, to prevent employee theft or internal theft, in other words, we should also implement or be vigorously implementing yung cash handling best practices natin. Ano ba yung mga cash handling best practices natin? It includes money in and out sa cashiering, di ba? Cashiering process flow natin, money in and out. Kapag kami magpapalitan ng cashier, cash declaration, ayan, especially dun sa ano natin, dun sa ating log-in, log-out natin, timekeeping, dapat may cash declaration tayo dun. Accurate cash count summary, yan. So, dapat maayos yan. So, sa simula pa lang, kung sa tingin mo, mali-mali na yung cash count summary niya, hindi nagka-cash declaration, hindi nagma-money in and out, imbestigahan mo na yan. So, red flag na yan. So, possible may mga ginagawa na yan. Okay, and proper bag search. So, minsan kasi kinakaligtaan na natin to, kinakalimutan na natin. Tsaka lang natin binabalik kapag may nawala na sa store. Lagi po nating isipin, this is part of our standard operating procedure na kung sino yung magbe-break, kung sino yung lalabas ng store, kailangan talagang gawin natin yung proper bag search. Okay. Next is number 4, request for surprise audit. So, as much as possible, ngayon na meron ka ng mga identify na mga red flags, na maaring causes or maaring tumutukoy na merong nangyayari na employee theft, we can request for surprise audit, di ba? As a team leader or as a acting team leader, pwede yun. Possible yun, ma'am. Pwede magpa-schedule ng surprise audit po dito sa store namin kasi feeling ko merong mga ganitong mga nangyayari. So, with a surprise inventory audit, you can more quickly find anomalies, yan, and your inventory counts without prompting the staff. So, ikaw lang muna ang nakakaalam. Huwag mo muna silang i-prompt. Okay. So now, tapos na tayo sa internal and external theft. Let's proceed naman with administrative loss prevention. So, ano yung administrative? Ito yung hindi pagsunod sa SOP natin. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng shortages or shrinkage sa inventory natin or kahit sa ating cash count. Okay. Number 1, para ma-prevent natin itong mga ganitong administrative na losses in retail, we should implement proper inventory management. So, paulit-ulit po ito. Ito lang naman talaga, dito talaga tayo unang mag-focus sa proper inventory management. It includes correct delivery receiving. Sa pag-receive pa lang ng delivery, maayos na. Number 2, accurate daily and monthly inventory monitoring. Araw-araw, dapat na-update yan. Precise ORW encoding. Ayan. So, dapat maayos yung pagkaka-encode natin sa ORW. Product expiration date monitoring. So, dapat na ma-monitor natin lagi yung expiration dates po natin. Number 2 is to follow the merchandising display standard, including displaying and replenishment, proper displaying and replenishment. Number 2, proper handling and storage of items, di ba? Kasi baka masira, tawag nito, magkaroon ng defect, magkaroon ng damage dun sa items kapag ka nadadaganan, hindi properly stored. Price tagging of items. Dapat lahat ng per piece items natin may mga price tag yan. So another one is proper POS usage and CSI filing. So kung naka-POS kayo, sundin yung tamang POS usage pagdating sa cash in, cash out, di ba? Declaration, Z-reading, X-reading, lahat yan kailangan nasusunod natin. Lalo na yung cashiering process flow natin for POS. Ganon din po sa CSI filing. Ano ba yung sa CSI filing? Kailangan tama, tugma yung SKU, tugma yung PLU, tugma yung description at yung quantity na nilalagay natin sa CSI para hindi tayo magkaroon ng shortage or losses sa store. Okay. Number 4 is on-time reporting and pull out of damaged and problematic items. So, napaka-importante po nito na kailangan kapag na-report na natin siya or nakita na natin siya during our inventory, monthly inventory na damage or under problematic item siya, so it includes yung mga items na expired na, kailangan agad-agad ma-request na po natin siya for pull out. Huwag na nating paabutin na magtagal pa sa store. Kasi, mas matagal sa store, mas madadamage pa yung items, hindi na natin mapapakanabangan. So, that will be considered as company loss na naman. Okay? Then, number 5 is updated and accurate sales reports. Ayan. So, napaka-importante, bago tayo umuwi sa gabi, yung SMS reports natin, na-send natin ng maayos in accurate format. Pangalawa is yung ating sales book or record sales book natin, na-update natin siya, including our achievement, GOLY, and everything, yung cash sales natin, credit sales, mga e-gift or online sales natin. So, dapat updated po yan. Next is, we need to educate our staff. So, kaya nga kayo andyan, our retail team leaders or our aspiring team leaders, because sabi ko nga, kayo yung katuwang po ng training to educate our staff. So, let them be aware of how the shrinkage affects them. Paano ito nakaka-apekto sa kanila and the whole retail operations team, di ba? So, ano bang effect ng inventory shrinkage? So, kasama dyan, syempre, yung hassle na paulit-ulit tayo nagre-reconciliation. The time and effort, hindi lang po natin, pati ng ating supervisor, at the same time, yung ating audit team. So, malaking kinukuhang oras. So, that's actually loss na. Part na siya ng company loss. Provide continuous training, coaching, and mentoring. Napaka-importante nito na continued lang yung ating coaching, training, and mentoring with our retail sales staff. So, in terms of fraud naman, we have to recognize the fraud indicators. Ano yung mga fraud indicators, possible fraud indicators? Number 1, customers behaving nervously or attempting to rush transactions. Yung nagmamadali, yung kinakabahan siya, tapos nagmamadali siyang shadow. So, that's one indication or one indicator na it's a fraud transactions. Pangalawa, using altered or invalid identification. So, altered yung kanyang, parang fake yung kanyang ID. So, that's another fraud instance. Product expiration date monitoring. So, kailangan din natin i-check na maayos yung ating mga expiration kasi baka palitan yan ng ibang mga items na expired na. So, making multiple purchases with different credit cards. So, ang dami niyang credit cards, iba-iba yung ginagamit niya for different transactions. So, possible fraud na yan or mga nakaw na yung mga credit cards na yan. Then, showing inconsistent behavior during transaction. Paiba-iba yung kanyang behavior. Minsan aligaga siya, minsan masaya siya, minsan parang kinakabahan siya. So, inconsistent yung kanyang behavior during transactions. That's one indication na it's a fraud or may kalokohan na siyang ginagawa. So, ano bang dapat nating gawin? Number 2 is to master your products. Kailangan familiar tayo with our products PLU or yung SKU natin at the same time yung pricing ng items natin. So, familiarize and be mindful of our PLU codes, product pricing to speedily detect switching of price tags. Yun pa lang nakikita natin agad. Ay, mali po ito ma'am. Parang na-change po ito ng price tag. Okay. Number 3 is to secure payment gateways for online transactions. So, as much as possible, kailangan yung mga online payments natin or online transactions natin, ensure muna natin na na-verify siya or may proper verification, processing, and online payments or online sales transaction, cashless transactions, and gift vouchers are properly verified bago po natin ibigay yung item sa ating customer. Okay. Number 4, and pinaka-importante is to use money detectors. This is para maiwasan natin yung mga counterfeit money and be aware of the strategies for detecting counterfeit money. So, may mga strategies na tayo before, yung FLT method na binigay sa inyo. Hopefully, it can help you to identify kung ano yung mga counterfeit money. Okay? establish a proper reporting mechanism. So set up a clear channel of communication with your supervisor for reporting any fraud detection. Kailangan open yung communication natin with our supervisors and our team members para ma-report agad kung may mga ganitong fraud, scam, or any transactions na kahina-hinala. Okay? Always ask for proper identification if someone insists they are from the head office. Okay? Kung pag sinasabi nila, oh, I am from head office, HR, anong ginagawa niyo sa umaga, di ba? O, nagkapag-deposit na ba kayo? So, ako na magdi-deposit. So, the first things first, bago mo siya papasukin, bago ka makipag-deal sa kanya, ask for proper identification and verify it with people here in the head office or to your supervisor. So, cooperate promptly with mall security and authority. So if ever kailangan or nangyari na talaga, tawag agad ng security guard para masundan at para madakip sino yung mga nang-fraud sa'yo. Stay updated on the latest information. Yun, kapag may mga memos, may mga trainings, may mga instructions, SOP na binibigay sa atin, huwag siyang ipagwalang bahala. Basahin, makinig, sumali, makialam. Kasi para updated tayo sa mga latest information ng ating company. And last is to educate. Doon pa rin tayo papasok. To educate our staff or our team members para ma-prevent, especially pag mga ganitong fraud. Okay. So, just to recap, ito yung other methods natin in detecting counterfeit money. Ito yung tinatawag natin na FLT method. Feel, look, and tilt. So, remember, pag paper-based, may watermarks, security thread, and security fibers. Pag print-based, yan siya. Imbus prints, serial number, see-through mark, concealed value, optically variable ink, optically variable devices. So, yan. Yan yung difference ng dalawa. So, to summarize our discussion for today, retail relies on loss prevention to ensure financial stability, customer satisfaction, and good reputation. It tackles theft, damage, and fraud. So, yun yung ibig sabihin natin when in terms of loss prevention. Napaka-importante po nito sa ating financial institutions or sa ating organization. To prevent theft, focus on understanding shoplifters, great service, great customer service, maayos yung store layout, and as much as possible, kung kaya naman, dapat may surveillance tayo. Okay. For employee theft naman, watch for signs. Dapat alam natin kilalanin alam natin i-assess kung ano yung mga bagay-bagay na ginagawa niya na in the past, paulit-ulit na reports, cash handling, shortages, di ba? Manage inventory, secure cash, do checks, and use monitoring. Yung administrative natin na loss causes, we can manage this through proper inventory, maintaining our SOP or yung standard operating procedures. Kapag nag-report, we need to report accurately and enhance security. And to prevent fraud, let us recognize signs. Yan, yung kinakabahan, hindi mapakali, secure payments, and train staff, report and stay updated. Education and improvement are key to successful retail loss prevention. So that's it. So that's our discussion for today about loss prevention. So if you have any additional questions or clarifications, feel free to contact me or to message me directly. So before I end my presentation, let me leave you this quote from Benjamin Franklin. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Ibig sabihin, as much as possible, i-prevent na natin kasi mas malaki ang matitipid, mas malaki ang ating magigain kapag napiprevent natin siya kaysa sa kinukure na natin siya na nangyari na yung isang bagay. Okay, so thank you everyone. So that's it for our module 1 of our chapter 2 soft skills discussion about fraud or loss prevention techniques. Hopefully you have learned something from this module. Let us see each other on our next discussion for our module 2. Thank you everyone.